Hi there. Today we're going to review the series starting with Red Sparrow, written by Jason Matthews. Jason Matthews spent many years at the sharp end in the Directorate of Operations of the CIA, where he amassed a great deal of experience, and he's put a lot of the tradecraft tactics and techniques from his experience working for the CIA into this book, and it lends it tremendous credibility, and the level of expertise seeps from every page. So we're introduced to the two main characters. Firstly, Dominika Egorova, who has her career as a ballerina cut short by the deliberate injury inflicted on her by a jealous rival. She has an uncle who is a senior officer in the SVR, which is the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, and he arranges for her to be given a job. Unfortunately, the job that they give her is to train at the Sparrow school in the art of sexual seduction, with the aim of either eliciting information from a target with pillow talk or obtaining blackmail material. And she is disgusted by this, and particularly by the fate of one of her friends who is a trainee, or she has befriended, who is a trainee at the school. The other character is Nate Nash, who is a CIA officer assigned to Moscow Station, who has been through the internal operations course to give him the highest level of training for operations in denied territory. So he is, when we meet him, he is 12 hours into an SDR, surveillance detection route, to meet a source, an agent codenamed Marble, who is the crown jewels of the CIA's attack on the Russian target. And he is a general in the SVR and has been supplying with the United States with high-grade information for a number of years. He's become totally disaffected. They meet, they exchange information. However, during pattern recognition, they realize that there is a surveillance net closing in on them, and Marble adopts an impromptu disguise while Nate draws off the net, allowing Marble to escape, and he spends the rest of the night evading and eluding the FSB, which is the domestic security service, who are trying to catch him. He does manage to escape and get back to the embassy, but he is burnt, and so he is sent to Helsinki. Now, Dominika has an interesting quality of synesthesia, where she sees an aura, a coloured aura, around people, and this aura denotes their character, their truthfulness and reliability, levels of deception and so on. And she never tells anybody she has this gift, but she uses it, and that, combined with her disgust at the Sparrow School training, leads her to be totally disaffected with the Russian system, the hierarchy, when she realizes that a lot of her colleagues and superiors are totally untrustworthy and devious people. And she has now been brought in to the main part of the SVR as an intelligence officer, and they send her to Helsinki in an attempt to recruit Nate. However, the tables are turned when Nate recruits her, mainly because she is intensely physically attracted to him, and they have then a double relationship of agent and handler and lovers. And what this does is to lend a heightened degree of risk and danger throughout the story. That will their relationship get them into trouble? Will they take too many chances? Will they be seen by people from the the Russian residency and so on? And it does make for a very entertaining and nerve-wracking plot of the book. One of the things that Jason Matthews does throughout the series is to include a lot of Russian terminology and jargon and explain what it means. A lot of trade jargon, for example. And also he includes recipes. At the end of every chapter, there's usually been some mention of a meal, and usually of some European, Russian, Middle Eastern, Scandinavian origin, and he goes into detail of the recipe. Makes a very, very interesting addition to the book. The second book, Palace of Treason, Dominica and Nate continue their illicit activities both as spy and handler and lovers, and she becomes under the suspicion of one of her seniors in the SVR, who just probably by instinct is suspicious of her, and this causes her to use her close combat skills in a number of places throughout the trilogy, and she's very adept at close quarter combat, and she's also ruthless with it. So she is every bit the counterpart to Nate, really, as regards training. In this book, one of the main plot concerns a complicated operation run by the CIA to sabotage the equipment that's going to be supplied by Russia to Iran for their nuclear program. And CIA personnel link up with a team from the German BSE, which is a specialized task unit involved in intelligence operations, and they managed to penetrate the place where the equipment is being assembled, a very well-guarded facility, and it's a success, and it's not immediately obvious that the sabotage has taken place, so it's even more of a success because it's unattributable. Dominica volunteers quite forcefully for an operation which has got a very high degree of risk, where she has to exfiltrate an asset, an agent from Russia to safety, which includes a long drive to the coast to meet an unmanned mini submarine, which then takes the agent to a mothership and to safety. And that part goes well, but this suspicious SVR officers arrange for her vehicle to be tracked digitally, and they know whereabouts she is. How she resolves this is both audacious, surprising, and a great resolution to a problem. And I was really delighted and impressed with that part of the story. This brings us to the third book, and what seems to be the final book in the trilogy, but you just never know with trilogies, as in the case of the Bernie Sampson series I reviewed not too long ago, which started as a single book, then a trilogy, then a triple trilogy. This is the Kremlin Candidate, and the SVR have recruited a high-level military officer who is ascending up the ranks to very elevated position very quickly, and becomes a serious candidate for the job of director of the CIA, mainly because the Russians, on direct orders of Putin, have had the incumbent director assassinated in a method that makes it look like an accident. If she, and it's a woman by the way, manages to achieve this job, she will have access to all the information, and therefore Dominica's status as an agent within Russia for the CIA will become compromised. So there's a double race within the book. The race by the CIA to try and find out who the mole is. They know that there is a high-level mole because of they've done certain leak tests, and also to identify the support structure that the Russians have in place in America, the illegals network who are servicing it. At the same time, the Russians are trying to find out more about what's going on and who the leak and the mole is in their ranks. So it's very tense and very complicated, but nail-biting at the same time. And it comes to a resolution. It all ends in a tragic sacrifice, and I won't give anything more away. So the three books to date are as described. Now, the first book, Red Sparrow, was filmed, and they made a decent film of it. In fact, I saw the movie before I read the book, and Jennifer Lawrence plays Dominica, and she does a good performance. It doesn't absolutely follow the book by any means. Nate is Joel Edgerton, and there is quite a decent cast. Bill Camp is in it, and quite a few other quite well-known Hollywood stars. So does deviate from the book. It's a great story in its own right. There is a scene in the movie that is in the book where Dominica is arrested by the FSB and subject to very brutal interrogation, and it really is a very distressing scene, both on the written page and to see it in the movie. In fact, in the series there are several interrogation scenes where the FSB put someone through some excruciating violence to try to get them to talk, and it demonstrates how repulsive the Russian system is. Putin is in the books, quite graphically described his motives and his activities, and the way he manipulates people, for example. Altogether, the films are good films, certainly worth watching, and the trilogy really deserves to be one of the most highly regarded classics of modern espionage fiction. And I just hope that Jason Matthews continues to write in this genre, because I really look forward to any future books.